Okay, so filler update. This is not how I was expecting this to go. I was hoping that by the time I was uploading this video, I would have already seen a doctor and would have maybe some more like medical advice or opinions on this situation. Unfortunately, with the quarantine, it just looks like that's not going to happen for a lot longer, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking. So I wanted to give you an update. I am going to be popping in clips with the dates so that you can see kind of how it's progressed. Basically, for those of you who don't know, I got filler underneath my eyes to fill in the hollows and minimize the dark circles that I have I want to say it's like between 1.5 years and 2 years ago now, but I will pop in the exact date that I did it. I gotta look back, cannot remember. It's basically gone. I have to make kind of like a crazy face for you to see. I don't even know if you can really like tell, but like when I make this crazy face, when I go like that. This area is still like, there's a tiny bit here and then there's a little bit more right in here. I started to have some adverse effects. I want to say it was in December, last December, so December of 2019, and I will insert photos so that you can see what I'm talking about. Basically, I started getting this like weird, it looked like a welt, and it was red and puffy, and it didn't itch or anything. It didn't really, I can't remember if it hurt actually. One of the clips would probably tell you, I honestly can't remember, but it was unattractive and it was really hard to cover. So I was really worried. I didn't know what was happening. I thought it was a reaction to an eye cream or something. And it took me a really long time to figure out what was happening. I mean, I'm still not completely clear on it because I haven't spoken to a doctor yet. I can kind of tell just by like what I was experiencing that that's what it was. It was kind of like the filler breaking down and sort of a weird reaction that my body was having to it. I guess we'll jump into the clips. We'll let them speak for themselves. All right, I literally sat down to film my Concealers 3, what was that? My Concealers 3 video, basically where I like compare different concealers for dark circles. I did a little update on my filler video, like in the description, and I think I also put it in a comment just for like new viewers. I am having some bullshit happening to my face. Do you see this dryness that's happening over here? Basically what's been happening recently is my filler is dissolving on its own, just like very slowly. This side has been such a fucking problem. It blows up, it gets swollen, it hurts, it gets all red. Now, I don't know if it's because my body's breaking down the hyaluronic acid, but I've been getting what looks like milia, I think it's called. Little like bumps. I have one right here that I can feel, like I can pull on it. But then even on this side, which hasn't been as much of a problem, I don't know if you guys can see them, I'm getting these like little bumps. What I think happened is I got sick for a little while. I had a fever, I had some kind of a virus, and whenever I have a virus or I'm sick, basically your body, your immune system is like trying to attack the things that shouldn't be there. So sometimes when I get sick, my body would have a reaction to the filler and it would swell up and be really uncomfortable. Now I've had 3 appointments with them, but that was like way long ago. Nobody told me about that. I feel like kind of an idiot because I feel like I didn't do the correct research. At first I thought it was an eye cream that was causing it, and now I'm figuring out that it is actually my filler. Basically what I want to do is go to someone else and get another professional's opinion. I just want to do a consultation, see what they would have to say about like what's happening. Did this guy fuck it up? Did he do it wrong? Honestly, this side was always a problem. I just kind of had this like tiny little pocket of the filler in this area, and I never liked it. And even though I went back 3 times to try and like even it out, he got the side pretty decent. Like that looks normal, and it's dissolving fairly well. It looks natural. You can't really see, you know, anything. I don't really have like a whole lot of complaints about this one, but this one's always been fucked up. So anyway, this is basically going to be my update on getting filler. And I wanted to check in really quickly. I want to tell you what the date is because I don't know how long this whole situation is going to be. I don't know when I'm going to be able to make an appointment. Today is February 28th. So I'm hoping that I can film my concealers video soon. It's probably, I mean, hopefully it's up before this fucking video is up. But yeah, so we'll see. All right, so I wanted to give you a little update. Today is March 20th. Basically, the filler that I got has been rapidly dissolving. It's just kind of like on its way out. For those of you who don't know, it is a hyaluronic acid filler. It's hyaluronic acid which your body breaks down naturally. So just quickly, this little spot right here, this and then this have nothing to do with that. It's an allergic reaction that I had to my cat, because I am allergic to cats, believe it or not. I also have a hive happening on my lip, which is thanks for the cats. Anyway, quickly, I don't know how well you can see, but it is pretty much gone from like this area right in here. If I make this face, usually you can like tell, and I kind of turn. There's a little bit in here still that's on its way out. This is completely gone though. And this side, it's a little bit more, he did it a little bit more even compared to this side. I never liked this side. So it is fading a little bit more evenly, but there's a tiny bit more here, I think. Back in December, I got this kind of like little hive underneath this eye, and I didn't know what the hell was causing it. I thought it was an eye cream at the time, and then it lasted for maybe a couple weeks, and then it went away. I stopped using the eye cream and it went away. So I don't know if there was some kind of a reaction with that kind of like, I don't know, exacerbated whatever the hell was happening with the under eye filler. I don't know. Went away, didn't think about it, really came back. It ended up being a lot worse. I did not enjoy it. I couldn't do my makeup, anything. It hurt. It was very tender. I called the place that I got my filler, LA Beauty Skin Center, I DM'd them. They called me, left a message. The doctor called me back, and he was basically like very nonchalant about it, which I didn't like. He was kind of like, give me a call and I'll let you know, or I'll tell you how to make that stop. And I was kind of like, what? Like, this shit's normal? So I ended up calling, I did a bunch of research. I found this guy who, like, this is what he does. He is an expert, in like, under eye and like just basically eyelid procedures in Beverly Hills. Found his office. I did call, spoke to a couple of women, explained what I was going through. They were like, never heard of it. I was like, that's cool. And basically I asked like what my best course of action would be. They said probably to schedule a consultation, come in, probably sounded like I needed to have the rest of it dissolved, and then I could kind of like come back and see where I was. I was gonna make an appointment for the consultation, but then this whole coronavirus thing popped up. So like I said, it's March 20th, I think. Did I say that? That's currently where we are right now. So I don't have any like crazy flare-ups happening, no pain or anything like that. It is mostly gone, and you can probably see how much more sunken my eyes look. Like, my under eye circles look a lot darker. My under eyes are a lot wrinklier. I know they're not like horrible, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So next course of action, I think, is to, once, I don't know, the world is like able to function again properly, make an appointment for a consultation with this guy, possibly just get it dissolved and kind of see where I stand. And I will be filming everything, so I don't even know what today is. Just wanted to pop in and give you guys a little bit of an update. It is April 17th. So those like red irritated areas are pretty much gone. I can't remember what the state of my under eye was last time I checked in. It's mostly like, I don't know how well, I feel like you'll be able to see it, especially if I turn my face, but this side, which is the fucked up side, kind of has like this crazy indent right here when I squint like that. So this whole area is basically filler free at the moment. I think there's still some a little bit down here. And then this side, it's still got it like here. And this side looks a little bit better when I squint, like you don't have that like weird indentation like you do here, mostly because like this side was just done better. This side I just kind of always had that problem with that like one little area where it was just like kind of hard. It looked like a kidney bean, like a hard, or like a, what are the white ones? Cannellini bean. Great White Northern, doesn't matter. But anyway, that's the current state. I haven't had any like swelling or anything like that, any pain. I'm hoping that once this quarantine situation is finished, that I can make an appointment, and I'm hoping that the next time I film this shit, we'll be on our way to an appointment to get an assessment. I really don't like what's happening to my under eye. I feel like now that there's no volume there, especially when I smile, especially on this side, it gets like there's so many lines and like so many crinkles. I know what my genetics are, and I really don't want that to happen. So I'm kind of just hoping that like this next person that I go to, he's the guy, and I can just rely on him. So as far as cost, it's not cheap, but I feel like it's reasonable. So we'll see. And then obviously in these clips, you can see that the same thing was happening on the other side now, which was fantastic. So it just took like a little while for that side to kind of catch up, but it went through basically the exact same process. So like I said, at this point, I was hoping that I would have already seen a doctor. I found someone in Beverly Hills who seemed really promising. I spoke to one of his assistants or nurses and kind of explained what I was experiencing. And she was like, I've never heard of that. And I was like, that's awesome. That makes me feel great. So she basically suggested that I make an appointment to go in and have it dissolved, whatever was left over dissolved. And then kind of like maybe in a month or so after that, revisit with the doctor and see if like I want to do it again. I would probably be asking him those questions though when I went to go get it dissolved, just like what he would recommend basically. So I'm kind of hoping that like I get to do that at some point. I think I checked the website the other day and I think they just reopened, but I don't know if I would be able to get an appointment now. And also LA is kind of like still shut down. So that's where we are. What's the date? It is July 24th. And that's where we are. So I've just kind of been dealing with it. Overall, like, just so you know where I am right now in terms of like how I'm looking, like reflecting on it. I'm upset because it never really got to a point where I really was like satisfied with it. I had to go back a few times to get it like sort of evened out. And this side was never looked the way that I wanted it to. This I did. It was much more smooth, much more like a much easier process. It looked much more natural and still does. Like it's kind of like fading in a more like natural way. This side kind of just like had that like big chunk of like lima bean, you know, immediately like after the thing settled, and I had to go back a few times to like get it evened out. It never really got to the point where I liked it. One of the other things that is concerning that I really want to talk to the doctor about is if I feel in here, sometimes I can't feel it in my eye socket. I can feel what I can only assume is some kind of scar tissue. And I don't know if the dissolver will take care of that. So that's fucking cool. Overall, I really liked the volume that it created. And it kind of like smoothed out my under eye and got rid of a bunch of these creasy wrinkles, which is so hard to deal with. Obviously, you know, from just me like trying to work with concealer. So I really did like that a lot. It made me feel a lot more confident in not wearing makeup. I am much more comfortable now with like this current situation, but I liked the volume. I liked it. So I would say if this is something that you're thinking about doing, research eyelid specialists, because the guy that I found who's in Beverly Hills, like that's what he does. Like the eye is like his thing. And I was listening to another doctor talk about it, and those are the best people to go to because they're like, I don't know all the info, but someone mentioned that like the best ones are also like trained as optometrists, so they understand like the actual anatomy of the eye, which makes sense, dude. You sticking needles all up in here. That's what I would recommend. Unfortunately, I have to kind of retract my recommendation of the place that I went to. I've heard from other people who have gone and they seem to be happy with the results, but I just wasn't. So I'm not going to be ever going there again. Hopefully the next part of this series, I guess, we'll be able to speak to an actual doctor and we can get like legit info, medical info. We know what's going on. And I will keep you guys updated on this whole process because I know it's something that a lot of people want to do. It's become much more common these days, and it's the only thing that I've done. So it's the only thing that like I really have any interest in, although I do frown in my sleep and I'm thinking of Botox, but like, I don't know, it freaks me out. Anyway, that is the update. If you have experience with all of this, please leave me your experience, obviously, in the comments down below, because I've been Googling stuff and I just feel like I'm not getting any answers, you know? All right, guys, thank you for watching. See you next time.